July 25th, 2023. Daily drive-by. This one is all about how dreams become a reality when you set the certain standards or habits in place. So today's a pretty special day for me because I guess you could say I checked off or I accomplished a dream of mine. For most of the people that know me, they know I've been driving my 99 Jeep Wrangler around since I got it in college. Good old Jethro has done absolute wonders for me. I have bought a 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee Upland Edition 4x4. She's beautiful, all blacked out, great condition, 30,665 miles on her, and she's got everything that I dreamed of. And where I get kind of emotional or getting goosebumps right now with this story is that back in 2018 when I graduated college, I had test drove this exact same Jeep that I'm driving right now. And my mother was out of town, just graduated college. I go, you know what, I'm going to take it over to Hetty, let her see it. It was at a Chrysler Jeep Dodge dealership back home. Saw it, it's got blue accents around the letters on the outside. It's got blue stitching on the inside. Immediately fell in love. And I go over there and I'm like, Hetty, look at this car. I think I'm going to buy it. She goes, oh, cool, you're going to buy it. And I was like, well, I think I'm going to lease it because I can't afford the car payment on it. She's like, you're not leasing that. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you're not leasing that. She was like, it's not smart. You're not leasing it. Leasing's not a good option. And gave me her spiel. And naturally and instantly, I got pissed off. I got sad and upset. Like, why can't I lease it? This and that, blah, blah, blah. So I take it back to the dealership, and that was the last that I honestly, truly thought about it. It would pop up in my Snap memories that I sent to Matt of videos of it here and there throughout the years. But I hadn't really thought about it because my mindset was, you know, the Jeep's good enough. It gets me from A to B. I don't do a lot of driving in the city. We're just going to rock with this, keep it going, pay off student loans, pay off the credit card debt I accumulated in college, be smart, start investing. And I did all those things. Paid off my student loans, paid off my credit card debt, started investing more, getting to see the world, experience things, and just truly living a life that didn't depend on monthly payments anymore. I'm super grateful for Jimmy B as he talked sense into me and knowledge into me on why not to do what I was trying to do, this and that, and got me on the financial freedom path. Although I don't agree with everything that I once did that Jimmy had me read in the Dave Ramsey book, there's a lot that I do agree with. But I look back now, 5 years later, sitting in the Jeep that I once dreamed of having, telling and showing myself, this is what happens when you set a plan in place. This is what happens when you follow the habits, the daily habits, the little things. When you make the sacrifices early on, what can come about it later in life. And I wouldn't have been able to see that if I wasn't smart, if I wasn't disciplined, and if I didn't take those calculated risks and be smart and not think of or not constantly compared to other people. Friends were getting new cars driving down the road I would look at, and here I am driving a 99 Jeep Wrangler. Beautiful car. I'll redo it one day. It will always be in some sort of lineage of me, friends, family, myself, whatever it is. So I'm not knocking my Jeep at all. But when you constantly see other people getting new things, you tend to move out of your own lane to try and be like them, to try and compare, to try and one up. And that's never the person that I want to be. That's never the person that I've ever portrayed myself to be. But again, society gives us this lack of discipline when it comes to these things. The keeping up with the Joneses mentality. And for the longest, I didn't do that. And that's why I'm blessed to be able to be sitting in the exact same Jeep that I had once test drove, that I had once dreamed of having, and seeing one of my dreams come to life. I very easily could have been like, oh, cool, I waited 5 years. Let me get the newest model. Let me get this. Let me get that. But I wanted to go back to my roots, why I am able to do the things I am financially, because I've been smart. And so I was looking at trucks, and all of the trucks that I wanted, I would have had to settle for because they weren't within the budget that I wanted to spend. And if you start looking at trucks, you will quickly realize they aren't cheap. You know, I sat back, I was at the gym working out, and I was like, you know what? Why don't I look back at Grand Cherokees? I know Lowe has one, but they're great cars. They're 4x4. They're SUV like I like. I used to want one all the time, but then she had one, so I was like, oh, I'll get something else. And I kind of grounded myself and ended up finding the exact car that I had dreamed of having back in the day that I still really, really like. And I'm just extremely thankful, not only to God, but to the people around me that push me to better my decisions, push me to think outside of the box, and push me to not live an ordinary lifestyle of keeping up with the Joneses and staying in my lane, to have more things down the road. And so I'm extremely blessed to have a car that's less than 5 years old, have a car that I'm not going to need to do work to except routine maintenance, have something reliable, have something that looks nice, and just continue to prosper down the different lanes that I set out for myself. And I believe that not only will this help me personally, but this will help me out for DTI. This will help me out for my 9-to-5 job that I have if I have to drive clients. And so the moral of the story is, if there's something you want and you can't truly afford it right now, don't do it. Step back, paint the big picture, and figure out what you can do day in and day out to be able to achieve that picture. Painting the little strokes instead of the big ones all at once. Taking the step back so you don't put yourself in a financial bind. Taking a step back so you can make a calculated, educated decision. Because once you start looking at those newest, latest, and greatest nice things, you automatically want it. And if you set your price range at $15,000, next thing you know, you're like, oh, I can bend a little bit more for $20,000. Oh my gosh, this one's only $30,000 and I really want it. It's so nice. It has everything and more. So before you impulse, before you make quick decisions, step back, sleep on it for a couple of days, and then decide if it is the right decision moving forward. Figure out what you can do now to set yourself up in the future to achieve more than you ever thought you would be able to by making smart decisions and staying focused on those goals. Painting the little strokes, not the big ones, to accomplish that overall big picture you have. Once you get a step closer and completing that picture, it's going to change again, because now you have new goals, you have new expectations, you have new things that you're going to do and want to achieve because you checked off the other things. So it doesn't matter if it takes a week, it doesn't matter if it takes a month, or it doesn't matter if it takes 5 years. If you keep your head on straight and you keep moving in the right direction, you'll be able to achieve the things that you want to, and you'll be able to prosper and grow more down the road than getting yourself in a bind in the beginning to try and make some sort of status for yourself or keeping up with the Joneses. So that's my daily drive-by. Very proud, happy moment. Might shed some tears here in a little bit because I'm truly blessed to have this. Dreams come true. Stay focused. You will achieve them if you check things off daily. Much love.